Welcome back to Midnight Chimes In. So we already covered the news of Ncuti Gatwa being cast as the 14th Doctor in a previous video, which I'll link on screen now for those who'd like to hear my reaction, but since then we've had a deluge of announcements and leaks mostly relating to the 60th anniversary special, and I'll attempt to run through each of them now and give my initial thoughts. Apologies if there's anything I've missed or anything new that comes out since the time of recording this script. So on the 15th of May it was revealed that Tennant and Tate will be returning for the anniversary special, presumably reprising their roles as the 10th Doctor and Donna Noble respectively. Both actors have subsequently been spotted filming on location for Doctor Who, as incidentally as Bernard Cribbins, who of course played the character of Donna's grandfather, Wilfred Mott. Now I kind of have mixed thoughts about this, and it goes back to the concerns I expressed when Russell T Davies was first announced as the new showrunner, about the show's fixation on nostalgia for the mid-2000s and that period of Doctor Who history in particular, and how you can't sustain a franchise on nostalgia. The pot will always boil dry. Now I do get that this is the 60th anniversary, so it does make sense that this is when you would bring back one of the most beloved Doctor and companion pairings, and don't get me wrong, I'm a huge fan of Series 4, but my issue is that Ncuti Gatwa is the future of Doctor Who right now. His name is the reason why a lot of people are talking about the show again, and it would be an immense shame if nostalgia for the past was to overshadow the debut of a new TARDIS team. Speaking of which, on the 16th of May, so only a day later, it was announced that Yasmin Finney will be joining the cast portraying the character of Rose, who may or may not be related to the original Rose from Series 1, we'll get onto that in a second. Now I've seen some people, mostly bigoted people, try to argue the fact that Finney is a black trans actor shouldn't hold any kind of significance, or even that making a conscious, deliberate decision to cast someone of that demographic, if indeed that has occurred, is wrong. And I'm just going to come out and say it. In the current climate, I think having a trans person, especially someone of colour, in a starring role in a show like Doctor Who, where people can see that she's just a normal person and not some kind of bogeyman to be feared, can only be a good thing. That being said, her performance should absolutely be judged on merit, and I'm confident that most people in the trans and black communities would agree that to suggest otherwise would be a disservice to Finney as a professional actor. We don't yet know the exact details of what role she will play, indeed very little has been officially confirmed beyond the character's name, but given the BBC saw fit to make this announcement, we can probably assume it's going to be a prominent role, and many fans have already speculated that Finney is the new companion. Russell T Davies, for his part, has been very cryptic on the matter and was even quoted as saying, "How can there be another Rose? You'll find out in 2023, which does kind of hint at there being some kind of link to Billie Piper's Rose, and that makes me feel uneasy, for the same reason Tennant and Tate returning makes me uneasy, but we'll just have to wait and see. So following that announcement, things stayed relatively quiet for a while until around mid-June, when the words "Beep the Meep" started trending on Twitter, much to my confusion and that of many other fans as I recall. Now for those who aren't aware, I am on the autistic spectrum, and as such I have a tendency to hyperfixate on nerdy things that interest me. It's just how my brain works. Like if you ask me what the best anniversary special is, my answer would be Zagreus, and Charlie Pollard is one of my all-time favourite companions. If you don't know what I'm currently talking about, then don't worry about it. The point is, I know my stuff. But even I had no idea who Beep the Meep is, probably because I have very little interest in the comics. I know about the talking penguin, but that's mainly thanks to Rob Shearman. Anyway, Beep is a deceptively cute and cuddly antagonist who has been spotted, or at least something resembling him has been spotted on location, and it's certainly an interesting choice as far as characters to bring back. It's very out of left field, but hey, at least it's not from the Tennant era, so I'm here for it. Finally, it has been announced that Neil Patrick Harris will be taking on a villainous role in the anniversary episode, and this is probably the one I have least to say about at this stage. I'm not a particular fan of Harris or anything. I have seen him in Dr. Horrible, and that was decent, so yeah, I'm sure he'll make a fine Doctor Who villain. Again, we don't know very much about his character yet, but there has been no shortage of speculation from fans. The most popular theory going round is that he is the Celestial Toymaker, but that's clearly nonsense since he is obviously the Rani. Anyone who watches Stu Bagful knows what I'm talking about. So that's my brief roundup of all the recent Doctor Who news. I'll have some more in-depth Doctor Who content on the way soon, so be sure to subscribe if you haven't done so already. This is Midnight Chimes, still waiting for the last train home.